Hey, what's up, and welcome back to Vigilantes, episode 11. So, yeah, we're jumping into this. We got how many episodes left of the season? Probably like 2 or 3 episodes left of the season. Or sorry, 1 or 2 is what I meant to say. I should probably check. Let's just check. We got time. I can check. Because we're on episode 11 right now, and so in this season there are, drum roll please, 13 episodes. Okay, so yeah, after this one we have 2 more episodes. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. We might be coming to like a slightly bigger arc towards the end of the season, maybe, you know. I'm not quite sure. So I'm excited for this. Last time we had Pop was basically given the opportunity to be at a certain event, and so she accepted, and Makoto helped her out with it to make it like a bigger event, an important event, using her connections to Captain Celebrity. So I don't know if the event is going to be today, or if the event is going to be like, if we're still preparing for it. I feel like it would be today. Like, how much story do we have to tell before the event? I'm not sure. So let's jump into it. Make sure to support the video if you can, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Go to my Patreon account if you want the full length reaction. You can also get early access and exclusive videos for both this channel and my Jent Watches One Piece channel. So go over there and check that out. But let's jump into this. My Hero Academia Vigilantes, episode 11. Oh, right. I didn't even talk about that this was happening in the intro.
Luck, and I don't want to let him down either.
There you are. Yeah. The day of. Okay,
Hey,
sounds like we are having it
Makoto?
today.
Reporting for duty. Welcome in, guys.
She's
Come
so
on,
nervous.
Relax. First pair of introductions. Pop, these two are Feathers. An
Feathers.
indie idol duo. Hi,
Cute.
My name's and I'm you.
Miu and you.
Hello.
Yo, I'm her manager.
My pen ran out.
With that, what's this girl's deal? Dressing in street clothes like a total
Hey.
Like easy on girls like her. Yeah, no.
What the fuck's wrong with you two? I liked you both from your designs.
We're the Naruhata East High Dance Squad. It's our pleasure to work with you, ma'am.
Okay.
Hey, well, great. But you didn't list any costumes for your group? Would you like
That won't be necessary. We are the Naruhata East
Whoa.
High Dance Squad. Performances are all about expressive movement.
They don't want to be too showy with the costume.
Technique and no need to look pretty. Not for anyone.
All right.
Showy outfits would only weaken our performance.
Cool.
The Mad Hatters shouldn't be part of this corporate
The
garbage.
Mad
We're
Hatters.
not trying to be a commercial success, we're trying to rock! I mean, how can we play some dumbass store jingle?
I have no idea, but I won't let you disrespect what we're doing.
What? Are they in love?
I never thought it would happen, but I found something more important than
Oh my god, did they just fall in love immediately? Or is there someone's power that can make people fall in love?
I need to look pretty.
Captain? Costumes for pretty peeps coming up stat.
Wow, really? No, they just actually just fell in love? That's funny.
Together in the ensemble. The band and dancers should
Aw,
be easy to
it's
fit in.
kind of cute.
We've got a Pop in the center. It would make for good visual balance.
That would look good.
We're not her backup dancers, okay?
Well, maybe you shouldn't
Come on, she's not
have your hair like that. Your hair really points to someone.
Feathers typically plays in smaller venues. Do you have any experience performing in a larger space like this one?
Hope you're ready. I'll work you both to the bone.
Then we iron out the hiccups and put on a show.
This is
Sound
great.
Good? Sure thing. I'll be right there. I need the 4 Hatters.
Makoto's
to
on
type
it.
So we can...
Makoto said the score and instrumentals. I've got to practice.
Yeah,
work
glad you're
hard.
excited.
I'm just bouncing around on the side. I'll look like some weirdo who doesn't fit in.
Maybe,
Fair
yeah.
point. Feel free to use my place to get your routine down.
That's so sweet. And she's not even like, you know, yelling at him. She's just accepting his support with happiness.
Did I say to slow down?
Oh my god.
We're gonna get those butts again!
Makoto knew that these girls would need this. She's really drilling it into her head. Oh shit! Don't injure yourself!
Happy. Come on.
Oh no.
And make it snappy. One is waiting here. Come party. You can't. You're my
Aww. That's cute. Oh my god! That's not cute. Oh, I fucking hate it. Oh, that's awful. Yeah.
Here he is.
Celebrity, please deal with it quickly. Ew.
We're a mere 10 days away from the Marukane/CC joint venture, the Naruhata Festival. Be sure to use search terms.
He's like fully doing advertisement.
Come on, take that. Give him the
That's great.
She fell down during training? That sucks.
So was that?
Unfortunately, thankfully, it's a minor sprain.
Was it
She
one
should
of the
be fine
girls?
to go out
Yeah.
with everyone else for
It's
the
either me or
performance,
you.
But rough the question.
Aw.
I take full responsibility.
I feel bad for her.
No.
Even though they
I'm
were
the grown-up
rude.
here, so it's on me. You two stay still. Or we could have Miu sit it out. Make it pop
Miu
and
is
view.
the
A
one
clash
that's-
of blue
yeah.
and pink.
Oh, she doesn't want to sit out.
After all
Oh.
that work. I'm sorry.
Get fucking recovery girl in here. Call UA.
Miu in the center?
Oh.
Sense.
Good point. That's
Change
one
her
way we
hair.
can cover up the problem. So you will have to move around twice as much to compensate. Then Pop can cover us during transitions.
Okay.
Her bouncing around is lively enough to keep the audience occupied. Are you okay with that?
And as for me, hopping around's kind of my area of expertise. Let's all do what we're best at.
That's so nice. Oh, I feel really bad for
We have our
me.
plan. Let's go over our blocking. For the formation, we want to make good use of Pop's verticality.
Look at her. What a queen. The image of responsibility. You're
Hey, look! Did you cut off a bunch of your hair, Miss Dance Captain? I thought you. Wow, they sure did chop a ton off, huh?
Such a crude way to say it.
Oh, my bad.
Idiot.
Oh. Back to
Captain
this.
Celebrity's holding a show with local artists. Look at how jazzed you are. Did you want to join the party too?
Oh, Jesus.
Now let's go treat your girlie to a night she'll never forget.
Fucking hell. I like the line, that's a good simp, though. It's like a Yakuza karaoke scene. Dame dane! Oh, present Mike's here.
But that's gonna mark the end of our daytime show! Yeah! Guest heroes will be here for our evening block, and it was a song and dance troupe from Naruhata. Introducing...
That's a cute poster.
Hats!
The hat is just standing in the background, though, is a little strange.
There are so many people out there.
Aww.
A lot of people.
Relax, you're gonna be fine.
Generic bullcrap.
Oh my god!
Everyone relax. We're ready for this. We'll be okay.
Whoa, what the fuck?
Let's all take a
What a
deep
transformation.
Girl,
breath. The dance squad captain?
Yeah.
I can see it.
We can do this.
Looks like she
She's beautiful.
used makeup to cover up her freckles, but her freckles are cute.
The clock will never hit midnight. And that
No way! I guess anyone can look good with the right getup.
Oh my god, Koichi.
Huh?
You idiot.
You're the worst, dude. This is what I was
Midnight?
hoping for. All those youthly hormones.
Hello, Midnight. It's been so long.
Hero! Wow, she's so sexy!
It's like we're backstage at a school festival. I love the vibes.
Yo, yo, yo! Welcome
Midnight's
to
especially nice to
Midnight.
see in this series because of events of the main series.
Evening? Look at that!
Knock it off, Yamada.
No, not Yamada. My name's Prison Mike, okay?
Sure thing, Yamada. Aizawa here. Break, so they want any hero involved to show up if they can.
Can we get Recovery Girl here
It's not
then?
like we'd ever get
Help out me?
Sorry, my schedule filled up too quickly.
Sounds dumb, old endeavor.
apologies.
Yeah, you know, I follow through. He said,
I'll try to make it.
Pretty good impression,
Sounds
honestly.
like no coming from him.
Yes, I'm coming.
Good.
I should be there soon. Goals just collect donations. Ugh, it's annoying. I almost wish a villain would pop up somewhere nearby.
Oh,
Then
don't
I'd have
say
an
that.
Excuse to ditch.
Help! It's a villain!
There you go.
I didn't think anyone was listening to me,
Whoa,
but I appreciate the prompt response.
what a cool shot. Oh. Gross.
You must not have been born this way.
Yeah.
Either a transformation quirk, or else one of those.
Yep, look at the tongue.
These parts.
Oh, these shots are cool.
His body's not changing even with erasure.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a temporary
Yeah, this is
form.
permanent form.
This is just he slipped out.
Oh,
Because of all
jeez.
the mucus.
Ew. Fucking hell, dude.
Can't hit him either. He's trickier than I thought.
Is Knuckle around here
Yeah.
to help out? Nice.
You're not gonna have any way to escape from a simple net.
Cool. Oh, you're thinking about Pop.
Good.
This unfortunate little creep.
Let Pop, you've got to try a little harder.
Oh, fuck. Electric eel. Surely you can turn off that quirk, Aizawa. Oh, but it's too bright to see. Shit, man.
Dear Hachisuka, haven't we been over this?
All for one.
Such actions give us away more than they're worth.
I hate when people lecture me.
It's crazy how much Hachisuka talks back to All for One. Oh, shit.
Come on. And you're at a difficult age. Lecturing just ain't the way to get things through to you. I'd say I understand.
Look at
that
this
all too
shot.
well. We're going, Tomo. Back home with your mom.
Oh my god.
What's any of that supposed to mean?
I ain't talking to you. I'm talking to my daughter.
Oh my god.
Ogoro.
Oh shit, what a cool shot. There's some great animation this episode.
A stun gun instead of the real deal? So you don't leave a scratch on your poor little girl.
On her body. Oh. So sick.
Letting me get away playing on easy mode.
Oh, nice.
If you're using your fists, what's the freaking point?
I actually prefer not hitting you with a stun gun. Because you know Daddy went all out and bought the deluxe model. High voltage and higher aim. A light touch to a limb and you'll look like a rag tap to the chest and that heartbeat's gonna go real quick.
He's so dope.
But it doesn't matter what chemicals they're packing. The fastest way to crush a hive is to kill their
Holy shit, he's so fucking dope. Oh my god.
And they'll blow you to bits!
Has he got a plan? Maybe his plan is just to get blown up. Do you just tank it?
Now you're bluffing. The first bee was strong enough to be called a bomb.
Ah.
Fireworks must take quite a toll on the host to make them. I guess you can. And oops, you just showed your hands empty.
He's so cool.
Scare me, then hey, tell me if I'm wrong, kid.
I love him.
Catch, moron.
Whoa.
You're feeling like tag.
This is a great battle. The animation's so good. Look at this. It's the camera movements that really make it. Like, look at that shit.
See just how far you can run.
Oh, that's so dope. Man, that fight between Hachisuka and Knuckle is just like one of the coolest things in this show so far. Knuckle's fights in this show are amazing. They are so good. Like it's giving me the excitement that I get from My Hero main series fights, which is not a feeling that I get very often in stuff. I feel like I watch a lot of shows on this channel. You can go watch me watch a lot of shows, right? And there's different things that I look for in different shows, and there's different levels of enjoyment, and some shows I like really love more than others. But there's certain shows that like I've talked about this on the channel before, but there's a quality to anime that isn't about the characters, it isn't about the animation, it isn't about the writing, it isn't about like a lot of the stuff, but it's a sort of obscure what's the word I'm looking for? It's a difficult to define amalgamation of multiple factors of the show coming into one factor called the hype factor, right? And shows will have different levels of hype factor. Now, it's not just, you know, quality. Like, it doesn't just mean that, like, oh, the higher quality a series is, the more hype it has, or the more action it has, the more hype it has, or the better the writing is, the more hype it has. It's not that. Like, sometimes something can be less in some departments or whatever, and still have a higher hype factor. So, and like, sometimes it's about like the presentation of it. Sometimes it's about how much they're trying to do it, you know? But it's hard to define. So, like, for example, for me, I'm talking about my own personal hype factors. The top, tippity top, absolute top, probably Haikyuu. Haikyuu to me is like, that's peak hype factor. I would say MHA is just a little bit below that, or around the same level. Now, this does show that, like, probably the music is a huge part of hype factor, because obviously Haikyuu and My Hero Academia have the same composer, so music is a big part of it. But I don't think it's the only aspect. But, like, you know, Haikyuu and MHA are like towards the top for me. I would say, like, the more that I watch of One Piece gets up there, you know? And I, like, you know, there's certain things in One Piece. Like, One Piece will lure me into a false sense of security. I'm not thinking about how hype it is. But then every once in a while, there's, like, certain moments that are, like, incredibly hyped that make me want to scream at how hyped they are. And then there'll be, like, nothing crazy hype for a while, and then I'll want to scream again, you know? So One Piece has really high highs and, I guess, low lows in terms of hype. But then, like, if you look at a comparison of, like, shows like Aoashi and Blue Lock, right? They're both soccer shows. Very different shows, but they're both soccer shows, and they came out around the same time, which is why I'm, like, talking about them both, right? Because I also think, generally, most people who've seen both shows will say, like, well, Aoashi is kind of, like, the better show for, like, soccer-related stuff. You know, like, it's a more pure soccer show. But, like, Blue Lock is about hype. And so, like, even if I don't know which of Blue Lock and Aoashi I like more, I haven't seen Aoashi in a while, to be fair. But like, from memory, I like them both quite a lot. But Blue Lock is, like, the hype levels on Blue Lock is insane, right? And then Aoashi has, like, higher emotional highs to it, you know? But then there's some shows like that, like Solo Leveling, for example, where it's like, this show's clearly, you know, it's supposed to be extremely hype, and it is pretty hype. But, like, it doesn't get me to these same levels as this does. So it's not really just about, like, the show trying to be hype, you know? Because clearly Blue Lock is trying to be hype. Clearly My Hero Academia is trying to be hype. And that's why they reach those high levels. But Solo Leveling, I would say, is a good show. I know people harp on, you know, certain parts of that, or, like, make fun of it or whatever. I would say Solo Leveling is genuinely I would say a very good show. I wouldn't even say, like, oh yeah, it's good. I think it's a very good show. Especially, you know, as it goes further in, I feel like it does what it's trying to do very well. But still, like, you know, the hype levels don't necessarily reach the highs of these other shows. And so, all that to say, I think it's a difficult to define factor, which is why I make it a separate factor from everything else, right? I didn't come into My Hero Vigilantes looking for hype. I came into My Hero Vigilantes because I like the story and the characters and like the world. I like the My Hero world. That's why I'm here. I'm not here for the hype of My Hero. I'm here for the world of My Hero. Because in my mind, the hype of My Hero is so deeply tied to Horikoshi and the way he does it. But they're doing some really good hype stuff. I would say in this series, The Stain fight was incredibly hype. The Stain and Knuckle fight. But, you know, there's a part of that is like, but Stain is also like a My Hero Academia character. So it's like that is, you know, that like you're using some of the hype that we've built up from knowing Stain as a character in the original series, and that's like transferring over. But this fight is Hachisuka and Knuckle, both characters original to this series, and it's fucking awesome. And I mean, it's like Bones is doing a great job with this series as well. I think I forget how good Bones like studio just is in general until we see scenes like that. And it's like, it's not even like they're doing pure Sakuga incredible animation stuff, but it's like consistently dynamic, and that's what makes it really work. Is it is clearly extremely well animated, but also they're focusing on like camera movements and motion and like keeping it active and fast paced, and like they're not putting it all into one big move. It's like the whole battle is consistently cool shit. So I really enjoy that. And fucking hell, Knuckles' voice actor is impeccable. Amazing. Like I think when we started this, when I saw the first episode of this show, like my first thought was like, okay, yeah, Knuckles sounds pretty good, Koichi sounds pretty good, and Popstep sounds amazing. But I was like, the reason I felt that was because Popstep was like my favorite character from the series, and I wanted to make sure she was done justice. And like throughout, as they like announced the anime and I was thinking about the show coming out and stuff, I was trying to think of like what I wanted Popstep to sound like. And so when it came on screen and she sounded perfect, like exactly, maybe not exactly what I was imagining, but exactly what I wanted. Like it turns out when I heard the voice, I was like, no, that matches perfectly. That's exactly it. Once that all came into place, then I knew that I loved that voice performance. And Popstep's voice actor has been doing, I think it's Macy Ann Johnson or something. She's been doing consistently incredibly this entire series. But like Knuckle has been the character that has been like such a standout voice actor that it's like it blows my mind how good he is to me. Like it's such a strong performance. To me, it's like on the level of like, you know, All Might is Chris Sabat as All Might, where it feels so right. You know, I love Chris Sabat. I love him in everything that he does. All Might to me is like his magnum opus, like his top absolute peak of voice acting. It's like his voice was made for that role. And that's what I feel like with this guy for Knuckle is it's like, holy shit, there's like no other voice that I can possibly imagine. And I've watched the Japanese of this show by the way. I don't want to you to be sitting there thinking like, well, this is the only voice you've heard for them. I've rewatched I'd say probably the first like 8 or 9 episodes in Japanese. And I like the Japanese choices as well. They're quite good. But like just this series, the My Hero series, to me, like they've just absolutely nailed the casting of. And yeah, like nothing hits like English Knuckle does to me. So this episode, there was a line in this episode where he was like, I don't know, I forgot what he said, but he was talking about the tasers and he used the word daddy in a sentence where he was like, you know, I want daddy to be able to do this or whatever, right? He was like referring to himself as daddy. But it just like, it works so nicely because of the pure confidence he exudes while saying it, you know? Like the confidence that man is able to portray is so impeccable. I love it. I love it so much. But yeah, anyway. So that was all me talking about that final fight. But the whole episode was good. I really liked seeing the preparation for the concert. I liked the simple stuff of like meeting Feathers and them being kind of bitches at the start, and meeting Mad Hatters and them being kind of dicks at the start, you know. And then like as it goes on, it's not like they necessarily have a redemption, but it's like the series kind of just, I mean, like maybe they will still have like redemptive stuff happen, but it's like we just kind of see them more as humans, you know? Like, and I really like when shows do that. Sometimes I feel like some people are not super forgiving to people and characters, whereas like if someone does something bad or someone is shitty in a moment, like they write them off, you know? Excuse me, but for me, I'm like, oh shit, that was shitty, that sucked. But then I also want to see how they act afterwards, you know? Like if they do 15 things and one of them is shitty, like, what, you know, it's easier to look at that and be like, well, they're shitty because they did a shitty thing. But what were the other 14 things? Is it possible that this person is just very human and flawed, and but they're actually like trying to be a good person and they will improve, and that might have been a moment of weakness for them, you know? Sometimes we don't realize when we're being shitty, and that means, you know, that counts for no matter who you are and where in your life you're at. Sometimes we just straight up don't realize that. You know, you could say like, well, yeah, when we're teens, we don't really realize the consequences of our actions or whatever. But I would say everyone, like fucking everyone, you know, 50-year-olds still do this, where they'll say shit and not realize how hurtful they're being with it, or like just not be thinking about it, and then like later we'll come to regret it, and then we'll try not to do that again. So so in this episode, both we have Feathers being like, what the fuck, she wearing street clothes? Why is she doing that? You know, like, and it's like a bitchy thing to say. And then also you have Mad Hatters coming in and being like, oh, we're doing this thing for kids, fuck these things, you know? But then we see human moments. We see with Mad Hatters, like, the lead singer, like, instantly falling in love with this girl, and you know, even though it's a joke, even though, you know, it's like kind of a stupid bit, it's also like us seeing a more human moment of his, where it's like he fell in love with someone. He's like, he cares about something or someone, you know, and we see him drop that facade. So I like, even though that character didn't have a redemptive moment, I still liked him more because we saw him more as a person. And with Feathers, like, we saw, I mean, it's sad, but we saw Miyu get injured, and Miyu and you be like so upset, and Miyu being like really disappointed that she was not going to be a part of the show anymore. And like, that makes me feel terrible for her. And I think it's, I think that's a way for me to connect to them again, you know, is like, we saw them, they were genuinely working hard. She did hurt herself, it wasn't her fault. And like, then she was disappointed that she wasn't going to be in the show. Seeing that human moment makes me like her more, you know? I like that way of storytelling. I think that's nice, and it's like, kind of, you know, I mean, they might still have redemptive moments in the future, but I think it's like a nice subtle way to have these characters not just feel one note, you know? But I think also this series is about not being black and white, you know? Like, My Hero Academia is a somewhat black and white series. They still play with the ideas of themes of being in between. I mean, they do that stuff with like Lady Nagant or whatever, where Deku's saying like the world isn't black and white, and there's like, we exist in a gray area, and like Lady Nagant is like, she is a hero, but she's doing villainous shit because she feels like the world has corrupted her, and like the world will continue to corrupt people around her and stuff. So it's like they do like put gray over stuff, but generally My Hero is like, these are the heroes, these are the villains. And in this series, it's called Vigilantes. Like, these characters aren't supposed to be doing what they're doing, but they're still saving people. So this series as a concept is more gray. So it kind of makes sense to subtly incorporate that into the character work as well, where it's like, you know, these characters that we're coming across, they may not just be like great people all the time, you know. Captain Celebrity's obviously a douchebag, but right now he's kind of helping us, you know. The guy who like assaulted Pop Step in the first episode, like that's a disgusting, horrible thing that he did, but he's also like, now he seems to be kind of, you know, helping us out and making amends in his own way a little bit. He's not being as much of a piece of shit anymore. He's got friends he cares about and that care about him. He fights for people strongly. He doesn't like just give up to be other people's puppets and stuff. Like there's more to him than just being a piece of shit as well. So yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff to the characterization in this show so far. I really like it, but I loved this episode. It was great. That was episode 11 of Vigilantes. Thank you for joining me. Make sure to support the video if you can, liking, commenting, and subscribing. Go to my Patreon account for full-length early access and exclusive videos. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.